You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Monday, April 16th. 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Monday. The first thing to know is U.S. is set to slap new sanctions on Russia. The Trump administration plans to impose new sanctions against Russia over its support for Syrian President Bashar Assad, and latest in a series of actions by both sides underscoring the deterioration in relations between Moscow and the West. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley told CBS's Face the Nation that the Treasury Department will announce the new sanctions on Monday and insisted the U.S. has sent a strong message about the use of chemical weapons. The second story today, or the second thing to know today, is U.S. stock futures point to a higher open. U.S. stock futures pointed to a higher open as investors expected there would be no immediate military escalation in Syria following the weekend's American-led strike. The U.S., UK, and France launched more than 100 missiles targeting Syrian government sites on Saturday in response to a suspected poison gas attack on April 7th. Suggesting that the military action would not be prolonged, President Donald Trump hailed the attack as perfectly executed, while adding that the military campaign to degrade the Assad regime's chemical weapons capability had accomplished its goals. The third thing to know today is oil prices sink. Oil prices started the week in negative territory amid indications that weekend missile strikes against Syria by the United States, France, and Britain may be a one-off event. A rise in U.S. drilling for new production also dragged down prices. Analysts and traders have recently warned that booming U.S. shale oil production could potentially derail OPEC's effort to end the supply glut. Fourth thing to note today is Bank of America and Netflix kick off a busy week of earnings. A handful of Dow components report in the week ahead, along with dozens of S&P 500 companies, in what would be the first big week of the first quarter earnings season. Earnings growth is expected to be up about 18.5%, according to Thomson Reuters data. That's the highest in 7 years, as results are likely to have been boosted by President Donald Trump's tax cuts. And our fifth thing to note today is U.S. retail sales and Fed speakers are in focus. The Commerce Department will publish data on retail sales for March at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The consensus forecast is that the report will show retail sales rose 0.4% last month, snapping back after a decline of 0.1% in February. Core retail sales are focused to inch up 0.2%, the same as its rise a month earlier. Our second story today is from PRNewsWire.com. CME Group reaches record international average daily volume of 4.7 million contracts in first quarter of 2018. That's up 38% from the first quarter of 2017. CME Group, the world's leading and most diverse derivatives marketplace, today announced that it reached an all-time high quarterly international average daily volume of 4.7 million contracts during the first quarter of 2018. That's up 38% over the same period last year. EMEA quarterly average daily volume hit an all-time high of 3.7 million contracts per day in the first quarter of 2018, up 37% from the first quarter of 2017. This was driven largely by strong performance in commodities, with agricultural commodities up 53% and metals up 49%. APAC quarterly average daily volume was also at an all-time high of 923,000 contracts per day in the first quarter of the year. That's up 41% from the corresponding period last year. This was largely driven by a strong performance across both the financial and commodities product suite, with equity index volumes up 117%, metals up 75%, foreign exchange up 56%, and energy up 43%. And our third story today is from investing.com. U.S. retail sales rise by 0.6% in March. U.S. retail sales rose 0.6% in March, the Commerce Department said on Monday. This was compared to a 0.1% drop in the previous month. Economists had forecast a reading of 0.4%. Rising retail sales over time correlate with stronger economic growth, while weaker sales signal a declining economy. Core retail sales, which exclude automobiles, gasoline, building materials, and food services, rose 0.2% in March. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, April 16th, 2018, your options news rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart, and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.